NBC 15 News at 11 starts now.
Now at 11, politicians, celebrities, and the country pay their respects to former First Lady Nancy Reagan.
Plus, Dodge County Sheriff says it's a big mistake moving two sex offenders to the area. We'll explain why he's fearful for public safety.
And a tough loss in the Big Ten tournament for our Badgers, where they now stand looking ahead to the NCAA championship. Hello, good morning. I'm Christine Belport.
And I'm Ashley Matthews. Former First Lady Nancy Reagan will be laid to rest today, the end of a week-long celebration of her life.
The service, which has been meticulously planned actually for years, will include classic hymns, readings from the Bible, and reflections from some of those closest to her. NBC's Natalie Morales reports.
About 1,000 VIP guests will be on hand to lay Mrs. Reagan to rest. Most of the invitees selected by the First Lady herself. Eulogies will be delivered by former White House Chief of Staff James Baker and our own Tom Brokaw, a close friend of Mrs. Reagan. Her children Ron Reagan and Patty Davis will speak as well. Davis opened up to Maria Shriver about their complicated relationship and says she plans to speak about it honestly during the service.
I have some very poignant memories in there that were loving. I do acknowledge that we had a challenging and sometimes contentious relationship, because it would be foolish to not acknowledge that.
Former Canadian Prime Minister Brian Mulroney, a close friend of the Reagans, will read a letter from the president to Mrs. Reagan. Other political figures include former presidents George W. Bush and Jimmy Carter, and First Ladies Michelle Obama, Laura Bush, and Rosalind Carter. Hillary Clinton is also confirmed to attend, but in her role as former First Lady, not current presidential candidate. Every detail of the service, says her daughter, planned by Nancy Reagan herself, from the flowers and the music to her final resting place.
My mother would always, when she came up here on the anniversary of my father's death, she'd always say, "Now what side am I going to be on?" Every time.
And that was Natalie Morales reporting. Taking a look now at the weather. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful start to our weekend.
Yes, I know it. Isn't this wonderful for a Friday? AJ is in now with our Finally Friday and that all-important weekend forecast.
And this morning, we actually started out with some pretty chilly temperatures, many 20s and also low 30s this morning, actually close to the average. Now we're up to 47, plenty of sunshine, getting rid of some of that morning fog we had as well. We'll continue to see sunny skies and mild temperatures throughout most of today. You can see Oshkosh popping up with some fog this morning, but everyone else at this point getting rid of the fog and making way into clear skies. And look at that, a couple 50s on the board already in Lone Rock. Also Mineral Point. We'll continue to see mild temperatures working over the next few hours. Radar and satellite picking up some clouds to the east. Those will continue to move out over Lake Michigan, giving way to mostly sunny skies continuing into this afternoon up to around 60 degrees, and then we'll slowly cool things down as we get into around 6 p.m. tonight. Now, of all the details on tomorrow's weather, when we'll see rain and how much we'll see into Sunday as well, coming up in just about 10 minutes.
AJ, thanks. We'll see you then. In our continuing coverage, the finalists have been announced for the vacant Chief of Police position in Beloit. They include Kent Crutcher, the Chief of Police in Branson, Missouri, Patrick Hoey, the Interim Chief in Rockford, and the current Beloit Interim Chief of Police, David Zabolski. The finalists will be back next Wednesday for a second round of interviews and a community forum at the Beloit Library starting at 6 p.m.
The Dodge County Sheriff says two high-risk sex offenders are moving to a facility that is just too close to children. Robert Larson Jr. and Jonathan Miller were placed at a home in Brownsville, south of Fond du Lac in July. They were removed after authorities learned children were living next door. Well, they're now being moved to a home in Reeseville, that's in Dodge County, but that is within 1,500 feet of several homes with children, including a school with about a dozen. Now, coming up later today on NBC 15, hear from the sheriff himself on why he believes this is a bad decision.
Police have arrested two Baraboo residents after recognizing one of them who was wanted on a warrant. An officer noticed 39-year-old Jason Johnson driving in the Dollar Tree parking lot on Highway 12. Authorities tried to pull Johnson over, and Johnson took off on foot. Police used a taser to take him into custody. Johnson's facing additional charges for meth and other drugs. Two officers were injured while taking him into custody. 39-year-old Anna Morales was a passenger in the car with Johnson. She was also arrested for possession of heroin. Whitewater police are looking for a suspect who robbed the Subway restaurant on East Milwaukee Street. This suspect entered the restaurant last night wearing a black and white mask with a skull on it. The suspect displayed a knife to an employee and demanded money. The employee gave the robber an unknown amount of cash. No one was hurt. If you have any information, please call police.
6 people are out of their apartments after a fire in Madison. The fire department was called to a fire at this apartment complex on Mayfair Avenue yesterday. A neighbor had to go to the hospital for unknown injuries. Now, authorities say the fire caused $60,000 in damage. The cause is under investigation.
The Badgers will now have to wait until Sunday to find out where they will play next.
Yeah, they faced Nebraska in their first game of the Big Ten tournament last night. The game was close all night, but the Badgers could never regain the lead in the second half. Nebraska increased their lead to 9 with about 4 minutes left and never looked back. Badgers went on to lose 70-58. They'll learn their postseason fate Sunday.
That one hurts a little bit.
A little bit.
See what happens, though.
I know. Well, you never know, right? Come on, Badgers.